Oh, it's so awesome. Like, I didn't have much expectation going into this movie because it looked low budget, but the atomic breath being a low-key nuclear explosion is pretty dope. So off rip, I really enjoyed this movie a lot. The human characters are way better in this movie than they are in the other franchise, and they really sell the emotion in the scenes. Now, I don't know a lot about
Godzilla.
I'm not a true diehard fan, but for the most part, I did enjoy the Legendary Pictures version of Godzilla. But the humans in those movies were drastically boring and dull as hell. But in this movie, one of the film's strongest aspects is the cast. They're delivering a great and emotional performance across the board. I felt a connection to most of the characters and actually cared when one of them died. The main character in this film is an ex-kamikaze pilot who's dealing with the regret of surviving the war while others died. He soon stumbles into a family dynamic after returning back to Tokyo. Then Godzilla shows up and starts destroying the happy life he built. I like the time placement in this movie a lot. Japan is still recovering a year after World War II and don't have the technology to really deal or fight a nuclear monster. They're pretty much cut off from the US because of the Soviets and have to try and find a way to deal with Godzilla on their own. This movie is definitely not a hero or anti-hero. He's 100% the villain. Whenever he came on screen, I knew there was going to be destruction and a chance that one of the characters that I like die. The CGI is surprisingly good.
Godzilla!
It looks cool and the atomic breath scenes are a joy to watch. For a film that only had a $15 million budget, it kind of shits on most of the recent Hollywood films with crazy high budgets. If I had to pick something I didn't like, it's maybe more Godzilla and more destruction. You get to see him completely destroy one city and a small island, but the rest of the fights are in the ocean, which is still dope to see. Final thoughts. So would I watch Godzilla Minus One again? Absolutely. Even if you aren't like a huge Godzilla fan, there's still a lot to enjoy about this movie. The story is still good and the acting and the characters are still phenomenal. I would say if you haven't seen it, you're missing out on a dope classic with a modern twist. And if you have seen it, hey, watch it again.